Hello, mysterious person behind the screen, and welcome back to the collection updates. It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? And when I say hot minute, I do mean it's bloody hot today. If you can hear the fan in the background, I'm sorry, it has to be there. I'm gonna literally die otherwise. You can see it in my face. I'm filming this in the middle of the hottest week ever in the UK or something ridiculous like that. It is stupidly hot, but I'm doing this anyway. So where did the collection updates go? Why did they go away? Why am I bringing them back? Well, the short answer is, it's just because I was being an idiot, essentially. I realised when I was, going through my videos the other day, I just miss sitting in front of the camera and just waxing lyrical to you guys about pop culture. I really love doing the video essays and the brand new Polarity podcast that if you've not listened to, you can check out here or wherever. You can find links to it all over the shop. And I love doing things like that, and I love recording the audio and doing fully edited videos and all that. I absolutely love it, but I feel like I've kind of been neglecting the balance that I strive for on my channel in 2021, and I think kind of succeeded. Last year I had a really nice balance of video essay style edited content and stuff like this, where I'm just talking about what I've bought this month, like nerdy geek shit. This year, I've gone straight into video essay after video essay after video essay, which has been great, and I've really enjoyed doing them. The Life is Strange one, the Spider-Man 3 one, the Derry Girls 3 one, and I've got one in the pipeline that will be coming later this year, but I just miss doing these as well. And my whole goal for the channel was, last year was to have it be something for everyone, and I feel like I've been neglecting that. And also, I kind of just stepped away from doing stuff on camera because I just had this crisis of confidence where I didn't like how I looked on camera, and I didn't like how I came across, so I just kind of stopped. Which is, I'm aware, is just me being so stupid and ridiculous, but nevertheless, that's kind of why they went away for a bit. Plus, I was just unnecessarily stressing about these collection updates, like, way too many times I would just be like, wait, but I didn't buy this in this month, but it should go in this video, and I want to talk about this, but I didn't buy it this month, and it was just like, dude, chill out. So I want to bring them back. I don't know if this is going to be a regular monthly thing like it was, but I miss talking about items that I've bought and waxing lyrical about them. So what this video is going to be is catching up on the months that I've missed, talking about my favourite items and nerdy shit that I've bought this year. Not every bit. Not every single bit, because we'd be here all day, but I just want to talk about some of my favourites of the year so far, and hopefully take us through now into the rest of 2022, where these are more of a regular thing, balanced with the podcast and the video essays. That's my plan. Guys, I hope you stick around for it. I just hope I don't let you all down, which I'd never want to do, but, it's me. So we're going to kick things off with Blu-rays and 4Ks that I've picked up, and we're going to start with some Bat-themed goodies. So although I was disappointed that this never got a UK release, I was happy to import it. The Batman, the complete series on Blu-ray. This cartoon was a real kind of blast from the past from my childhood, because this was kind of the Batman cartoon that I grew up watching as it was on TV, if that makes sense. Like, I would often catch this airing on Cartoon Network, and I loved it, but I had just never had the opportunity to sit down and watch it fully beginning to end. And I was honestly quite surprised when Warner's announced that they had remastered the whole thing and put it on Blu-ray, because it isn't really a popular show. Like, people are kind of dismissive of it, unfairly so, I think. It's very much the Spider-Man TNAS of the Batman universe, and it's cool, man. I really like it. I love the theme song. Both versions, I think, are absolute bangers. The writing is fantastic. The Clayface episode from the end of the two-parter that closes season 1. I remember I watched that a lot as a kid whenever it was on, and it really stuck with me. The writing of Ethan as a character and his relationship with Detective Yin and just all of that stuff, and the body horror that comes with it really stuck with me. So the release, it comes in a nice slipcase. Again, it's kind of sucks that this just wasn't available in the UK. You could only get it by importing. But it's a 6-disc set. I believe it's 5 seasons worth of content, and a episode guide there. I don't. The one. I'll just show you the episode guide. The one negative thing about the release is it doesn't include the movie Batman vs Dracula, or the Batman vs Dracula. Not sure why, to be honest. I guess they were seeing how well the series sold before they did the movie, but it's it's a glaring omission. But other than that, this is a fantastic set, and I highly recommend it if you're a fan of this show, like I am. It's very much it's unfairly compared to Batman the Animated Series, and it isn't Batman the Animated Series. It is something quite different. But I think if you go into it with the right headspace, you'll really have a good time with it. And another The Batman type of thing, we have Matt Reeves' The Batman on 4K in this beautiful premium edition from HMV. This is an absolutely lovely set. I'm just taking this out. So it comes in a steelbook case, a nice hard slip case as you saw there. Really lovely stuff. 3 discs, including an exclusive bonus disc that was exclusive to HMV, with 15 minutes more content than you would get in the regular edition. And as well as that, we get this lovely little pouch here, Batman to the Batman, with art cards and posters and all kinds of goodies in there. I won't show you them all because it's quite a loaded set, but it's a really nice release for a great film. It was really refreshing in this age of cinematic universes and, you know, everything being interconnected, to just have a standalone, fresh, original take on a superhero. It's weird that that's refreshing, and it's weird that that's not the norm these days, but that's the world that we're living in superhero blockbusters, and this was refreshing, and the fact that it's been greenlit for a trilogy, and that's going to be the story of the Batman, is this trilogy, and we get spin-off TV series as well, but I just find it so refreshing that this is a director, Matt Reeves, brilliant director, who's gone into it and gone, this is the story I want to tell, this is how I want to tell it, and I'm going to tell it, and it's going to be standalone. Love that. I love that shit. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing more from this world. I thought Robert Pattinson was fantastic, and like I said, I want to see more of his Batman. So yeah, I was a big fan of this, the Batman. And that is kind of something I want to do with this video, is kind of talk about new releases as well that I have in my collection, as a way to kind of catch up on the pop culture stuff that I've missed throughout the year. I'm going to do a similar thing that I did at the end of 2021 with the whole wrap-up video, but yeah, I think it's a good opportunity. Bit of boutique labels now with the Wes Anderson Collection on Criterion Blu-ray, or, you know, the ones that I didn't have on Criterion Blu-ray, because previously I had Rushmore and Moonrise Kingdom. These I got for Christmas, and these are beautiful releases, each and every one of them. And at the start of this year, I did a marathon of Wes Anderson. I started from Bottle Rocket, worked my way up to Grand Budapest Hotel. I didn't get to the last two. I've still not seen his last two films, Isle of Dogs and The French Dispatch. French Dispatch is on Disney+, but I'm still trying to figure out a way to see Isle of Dogs. I didn't want to buy the Blu-ray because I feel like Criterion are going to release their own edition of it at some point. They must do. But I absolutely love doing that, and Wes Anderson has become a filmmaker that I really, really like. And some of these films, watching them for the first time, they're absolutely fantastic. Royal Tenenbaums has become one of my new favourites. I thought it was a terrific film. Life Aquatic was, you know, interesting. It wasn't really... I didn't love it, but that jaguar shark scene at the end... That's cinema right there. That's one of the most beautiful scenes I've seen in any film. I thought it was absolutely stunning. Darjeeling Limited, fantastic to get no pun intended. Fantastic to get Fantastic Mr. Fox on Criterion. Beautiful release, beautiful artwork. This one actually has a nice. I won't take it out now because it doesn't want to come. Wrong way. There we go. Nice digipack with Fantastic Mr. Fox. And then another similarly beautiful release for Grand Budapest Hotel. Lovely stuff. Yeah. Whoa, that was a close save. Oh, that was good. I'm impressed with myself for that. They nearly just all fell off. So yeah, the Wes Anderson Criterion Collection. Loved picking these up. I eagerly await Isle of Dogs and The French Dispatch to join it one day, whenever that may be, because Criterion are very, like, you never know when they're going to release something. So yeah. But for now, Wes Anderson. You guys know how much I love Arrow Video, so I've picked up a whole host of Arrow Video releases this year, and these are some of my kind of most notable ones that I picked up. I say favourites, but I've not actually watched all of these films. In fact, I've only seen the one, so yeah. But these are some of the more notable ones I've picked up. So we have Dario Argento's Phenomena on 4K. Beautiful cover art there, and on the back we've got Jennifer Connelly. This is limited edition 4K set, so it's one of their big big box set releases. I of course flip the artwork over to the original poster art on the inside, and you get like lobby cards and 2-disc release, multiple different versions, nice big chunky booklet and a poster in there. So it's, you know, I love these Arrow Video limited edition releases so much. Always intrigued by this. It's an Italian horror film. Dario Argento also directed Suspiria, which I haven't seen but I really want to. Intrigued by it. I don't really know a lot about it, but I thought this was a perfect opportunity to give it a blind buy and give it a go. Watch it around Halloween time. Should be fun. Also on 4K from Arrow. I'm really glad that Arrow are starting to dive into doing 4Ks. True Romance. Watched this a while ago. Absolutely loved it. This was a really fun blast of a film. I think it was one I have to rewatch. There are parts of it that were like, oh, I'm not really sure if I'm enjoying this, but for the most part, really good film. Tarantino wrote it. He didn't direct it, but he wrote it. Tony Scott directed joint. Yeah, really fun film. It's really the chemistry between Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette that really carries the film. Yeah, they're fantastic together. Another blind buy. All of these are blind buys now. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1973, is it? 78. Oh god. 78 Body Snatchers. Again, never seen it. Always wanted to. It's pretty much a staple. So Arrow Blu-ray of it was on sale. Couldn't pass that up. Takashi Miike's Audition. Again, always wanted to see this. I reversed the cover. I do like the alternate artwork, but I prefer this original poster art. I know nothing about it, and from what I hear, that's the best way to go into it. I've heard that it gets messed up. I don't know much else. I just know that it gets really weird and fucked up and strange, and just go into it blind. So that's what I'm going to do. Takashi Miike's Audition. And on a similar note of things being fucked up, Brian Yuzna's Society. Again, never seen it. Don't know anything about it. Again, I just know that it's weird and crazy and fucked up and all that. So I'm going to go into it blind. Society. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is one of those things where I know it's a big cult thing, and it looks like it was right at my brand of craziness and just weirdness, so I'm probably going to enjoy that. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I've only seen the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the 2022 one, which was released earlier this year on Netflix, which wasn't great, but the first one's fantastic. And again, I've heard this is really weird and a bit mental and a bit almost like a self-parody, but I'm intrigued, and again, Arrow released it, so I thought, why not? This looks, you know, I definitely enjoy watching this right after the first one, but I've heard it's very different, so I'm intrigued. I am intrigued, but to see what happens to Leatherface next, but I'm also kind of preparing myself for something a bit unexpected, a bit weird, so I'm looking forward to it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. This next one I saw in the cinema. I absolutely loved it. A real kind of thought-provoking, lovely, beautiful, emotional work of art from, I can never pronounce the director's name. I believe it's Joachim Trier, and it is a Norwegian film called The Worst Person in the World. Again, saw it in the cinema, I had to pick it up. This is a release by Mubi, which is of course a streaming service, but this is a really nice release. The slipcase has this really nice effect to it. Not too sold on the cover, like considering like it's a great moment from the film, but it's not like I would have picked something else for the cover, but whatever. Some interesting behind the scenes features on it. This is a beautiful film. It's a, I mean, look at that, it's a really classy case, Criterion style case. It's just a really nice look at love and romance and just life. Just that's all I can say. It's just a search for love and meaning and just anything you can in this world, and there's some absolutely fantastic sequences in this. It does come with art cards. That scene is incredible, and I love it so much. Really nice art cards here. It's just one of those films that it's hard to describe. You have to watch it and see it to really get the impact. There's no use me describing to you how good it is. It just bloody is. If you've seen the film, you'll know the significance of that. Yeah, absolutely fantastic film. Loved it. Happily picked it up on Blu-ray because it just is that good, and I know I will be returning to it again in the future. Yeah, fantastic. Worst Person in the World. Another blind buy. I wanted to see this in the cinema, but I missed it, and so when I saw this in Morrison's of all places for 15 quid, and it looked like a really nice release. I just went for it. Licorice Pizza. Again, I don't know much about it, but I wanted to see it in the cinema. Missed it. So I thought, oh, I'll see it when it comes to streaming. But then I saw this Blu-ray, which is really nice. Like, weirdly, a pretty deluxe release for kind of, for one thing to spot in Morrison's, but it's quite premium for what it is, I guess. So you get a lovely slipcase and a reversible cover, which I have reversed already. Art cards, 2 discs, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't really. Again, I've just no context for what these are, but it's just the really glossy prints, and it's just, yeah. So I decided to go for it. Does that make me stupid? Who knows? But it's a lovely release, and hopefully I enjoy the film. I also picked up this lovely 4K steelbook of Hacksaw Ridge. This is a really nice. So it's got the slipcover for the Red Cross, and then this beautiful matte finish steelbook. It's kind of matte finish, but also glossy at the same time. It's almost hard to explain. This is an absolutely fantastic film. It is a wraparound bit of art there, which is really nice. Fantastic film. I have not seen it in a few years, but I really enjoyed it. Going to return to it soon. Hacksaw Ridge. Andrew Garfield is absolutely phenomenal in this film, so go watch it if you haven't. This is a really lovely steelbook edition. I also, after I bought the Toy Story trilogy on 4K last year, because I already had Toy Story 4, I wasn't going to upgrade any of my Pixar films to 4K, but these were all on sale on Zavvi, which is a place I usually avoid like the plague. They were all there for a tenner. So I thought, this is such a really good deal for 4Ks with slipcovers. So I picked up some of my favourite Pixar films on 4K. So we have Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, and Inside Out. Just to see what the picture quality was like. It varies. These are obviously these are upscales, but they look nice. The HDR is lovely on them. The slipcases are really cool. Like, I expected them to just be kind of flat slipcases, but they've got embossing on the titles and everything. It's you know, if you already own these films on Blu-ray, and especially, you know, you've got Disney Plus, there's not a huge reason to upgrade. But for me, and I'm definitely not going to upgrade all my Pixar films, but for me it was a case of, like, definitely the ones that I love. Like, all of these films are some of my favourites of all time, not just Pixar films. Ones that I really love and adore, I kind of will go the extra mile just to see them in the best possible quality. And some of you may be thinking, wait, why is Cars here? I really love the first Cars. Might be nostalgia, who knows, but it's one of my favourite Pixar films. I just love the atmosphere to it. Ratatouille there, and then Inside Out. Yeah, so yeah, a few Pixar films on 4K. I just like the uniformity of them as well. They're quite cool. It does tempt me to kind of get the whole set, but I'm just like, nah, I've got all of them on Blu-ray, and not all of them are films that I love enough to spend the extra cash to get them on 4K. But yeah, I'm glad to have these. Again, these are on sale, and I thought, well, I'll pick it up because I like these films. But rewatching them, I really find a new appreciation for these, as they're really great films. I picked up the Men in Black trilogy on 4K. Men in Black, absolute classic. Men in Black 2, not as good, but not... It's pretty rough at points, but it's not as terrible as its reputation suggests. It's just not good, but it's fun. Men in Black 3, underrated as fuck. Men in Black 3 is great, and I feel like it gets shat on unfairly so. The emotional twist in this, it hits you like a ton of bricks. It's so well done, and just so... it recontextualizes the whole franchise in a way that feels quite natural. So, yeah, these films are great. I didn't pick up the fourth one because it's not very good. I was really looking forward to that when it came out, and it just was shit, wasn't it? It was awful. So, but I've got the classic trilogy, and I'm really happy to have them on 4K. And again, really, this was a film that I didn't really ever think I would really have the desire to pick up on 4K, but nonetheless, I sprang for it because it was on sale, and that's really kind of been the theme of this year with 4Ks. There's not been a huge amount of, like, new releases coming out. Certainly the ones that I'm interested in. It's been very boutique, and also stuff that I'm like, yeah, I'll wait for that to go on sale. So, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You know, I grew up on this film. It's very nostalgic for me. It's a classic, but I never really had the desire to pick it up on 4K, but it was dirt cheap, and I never owned this on Blu-ray. I only ever had it on pan and scan DVD, so I thought it's quite an upgrade. 4K, it's a pretty nice transfer. So yeah, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on 4K. Rounding things off with just a couple more Blu-rays. X, wanted to see this in the cinema, but I got COVID. I came down with COVID, and by the time I recovered and tested negative, this was out of the cinemas, and I was so gutted about X. I've heard very good things. I've heard it's very, very bloody and very violent and very disturbing. But I've also heard it's a great horror film, so I'm looking forward to watching it. Scream 22, 4K Steelbook. First one came to 4K a few months ago. Now this one. Can we get the sequels, please? Because the first one looked really nice on 4K, and the Blu-rays for the original films are really shocking and shite. So please, Scream 2 and 3 and 4 on 4K, please. But yeah, this is Scream 5, Scream 22. I really enjoyed it. It's like, as I've thought about it, I've liked it less. It's like second to last in my ranking, but that's still, the Scream franchise is hella consistent. So it's, for it to be fourth out of 5 films that are all really good for the most part, it's not bad. I enjoyed this a lot. I had a few issues with how they used the legacy characters, but for the most part, Scream 5 was satisfying, and I'm looking forward to Scream 6. Yeah, it's a hella consistent horror franchise, and I'm just looking forward to seeing where they go with it. And then, rounding this off with a pretty premium release of one of my favourite shows from last year, Chucky Season 1 Good Guys Edition on Blu-ray. Real nice release. It's a nice lenticular slip. And then you pull it out, and you've got a nice, just regular Amaray case. 2 discs. This was a great show. This was a perfect sequel to the films. You also get art cards of the cast and various good and fun and spooky moments from the show. And another acetate art card of the Chuck himself, and a lovely little booklet which has some information about the cast and everything. Really, really nice artwork. Really good release for a great show. Like I said, perfect sequel to the films. Expands the mythology really nicely. Definitely gives you some answers from the end of Cult of Chucky, and kind of expands through, goes off from there. But also, if you're new to the franchise, you won't be lost at all, because it focuses squarely on this new cast of young kids dealing with Chucky. And what I really liked about it was that Chucky is almost a backdrop. It's really a story about a boy kind of coming to terms with his sexuality and his crush on his friend Devon, and kind of dealing with that while also being manipulated by this little fucker of a killer doll that you've seen before in the films. And it's kind of ties everything in really nicely. There's a healthy amount of teen angst, but it's balanced out with some really great horror. It's a great show. I cannot wait for season 2. Should be coming later this year, and hopefully it gets a similar release to this, because this is really nice. So yeah, Chucky Season 1. Figures wise, I've been buying a lot. You'll notice the horror shelf has been pretty expanded. I'll put some B-roll in here, some close-ups of it, but I have gained quite a few new additions to that. I've got Sackhead Jason, I've got a Predator, I've got Frankenstein's Monster, Leatherface Sam from Trick or Treat, Pinhead from Hellraiser, Dr. Loomis and Michael from Halloween 2, Jason from Part 3, 2 Chuckies, one from Bride of Chucky and one from the classic films, and Tiffany. It's the horror shelf. The NECA horror figures are really looking great now. I love that display in my room so much. It's just a great cacophony of characters, and I hope to expand it even more in the future. Those NECA figures are some of my favourite things I'd buy. They can be pricey, but they're so worth it in the end. They are absolutely fantastic figures, and I just love that display. I've also been picking up a few more Marvel Legends. Specifically, I've got the big MODOK figure because he was on sale in HMV, and he looks great. He looks crazy and beautiful, and I love MODOK so much. It's just such a goofy figure, but it's just fun to look at on the shelf. Yeah, he's great. I've become addicted to the 90s X-Men, the animated series wave of figures. Because of course, why not? They're great. The 90s X-Men series, which is coming back. I can't believe it's coming back for a 6th season all these years later. it's such a fantastic show. It's so well written, and I just love the designs of the characters in it. So the fact that Hasbro and Marvel Legends have put out these figures that are packaged in this VHS style packaging, and they've got cel shading on them to make them look like they have come, you know, directly from the cartoon. Absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see the range expand further. So we've got Wolverine so far, Jubilee, Storm, Mist, Sinister. I believe we're getting Jean Grey later in the year. I think I have that on pre-order. Cannot wait. Give us a Cyclops and Professor X and a Rogue. I'll be so happy. Love that show. For the last month or so, I've been absolutely loving Miss Marvel on Disney Plus, and I read the initial issues of the Miss Marvel comic, Kamala Khan's kind of first run, back when I was in year 7 or 8, because it was like the only current Marvel comic that my school library had. They were very stingy with their comics because they were a bit like, well, it's not proper reading material, is it? But I pounced on Miss Marvel because it was the only Marvel stuff there, and I remember enjoying it at the time, but also I just never continued beyond that. But I've been really enjoying Miss Marvel on Disney Plus. I think it's one of my, probably the best MCU Disney Plus shows so far. Absolutely fantastic. So I picked up a collection of the first 11 issues of and material from All New Marvel Now .1 of Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, her initial run. I've been reading it again because I finished Hack Slash, guys. So sad I finished Hack Slash because it's such a good series, but I'm happy to be onto this. Fantastic stuff. It's just, Kamala is such an endearing character, and I really like the art in these books as well. And, you know, in the show and the books, she's such an endearing character. I really like the kind of almost stylized art of the comics, and I've just been really enjoying diving into the world of Kamala Khan for really the first proper time outside of, you know, years ago when I was in school reading those initial comics. But yeah, so Miss Marvel. This has certainly been keeping me busy through most of my spare time this year. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga PS5. I just 100%ed this the other day, and it was, Jesus Christ, the amount of tasks you have to do in this to get 100%. The amount of stuff in this game, like, I fully got my money's worth, because it is so dense, and there's just it's so full of content, but also it's like, Jesus Christ, it was a grind to get 100%, but when I got it, I was just like, such a sense of accomplishment. I really enjoyed the Skywalker Saga. You know, I was really excited for it. It had been delayed so many times, you know. But it was finally here, and I really enjoyed it personally. I know some people were disappointed, but I thought it was great fun. I think it was a perfect evolution for the Lego formula. It's very different from the other Lego games, and I think it put people off, because I know a lot of people went into this just expecting like a remaster of the complete saga, which it isn't. It's very different, but it's something that I really enjoyed, and the grind to get 100% was pretty addictive, so it's kept me busy. But I'm happy to kind of say goodbye to it for a bit, because I've kind of played it to death. But yeah, it's great. So that's everything, I think. You know, I picked up some other stuff throughout the latter half of last year and this year as well, but this is kind of the main stuff that I really wanted to talk about on the channel and just kind of wax lyrical about for a bit, however brief. It's been a very Blu-ray and 4K focused year for me, actually, and I didn't really realise that until I started filming this, and it's just mostly films. But nonetheless, I hope this has been entertaining, and I hope that people kind of enjoy seeing these collection updates back a little bit. I did miss doing them. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to become like a monthly regular thing, but I'm going to try and do it regular-ish. I'm going to try and do this a lot more than I have been, and I guess I'm just going to try and have more confidence in my ability to speak on camera, because that kind of wrecked me in terms of wanting to do this. So I'm just, you know, getting myself back out there, because this is what I did for you. You know, the classic Gargantuan Apple is just me standing in front of a camera being probably really boring, but this is what I did for years, and I just feel like I need to get back to that, as well as doing the video essays as well. There needs to be that balance, and I feel like I've neglected that balance this year a little bit, but hopefully that'll change. I hope you enjoyed looking through some figures and films and all sorts in this video. If you did, please let me know. As I said at the start, you can go and check out Doctor Who, the Polarity Podcast on Spotify and here on this YouTube channel for now. If you've not listened to the podcast, please do, because me and Gav are working really hard on it, and the response that we've got from people has been really nice and positive, but we still want to kind of get that audience out there. So if you've not listened to it, please give it a go, and subscribe to my channel to see more stuff like this, more video essays, more content in general. I think that's everything. Take care now, guys.